Did you know that for the first time in the 30-year history of the Powerball lottery, its jackpot has grown to $1 billion? This situation is just one of the few proofs that wealth these days is no longer measured in millions, but in billions. Blurring the boundaries will allow anyone who dreams of big money to achieve it faster with minimal effort. To dispel your doubts, I will tell the story of a man who earned his multi-million-dollar fortune starting with just $820. Listen carefully because his advice could change your life once and for all. Welcome to the main channel on finance. Join the ranks of future millionaires by clicking the subscribe button right now. Many billionaires could boast their dizzying success stories, but the story of Dan Peña is widely regarded as the most dramatic. Peña was an average American. He even happened to take part in the Vietnam War. After returning home, Dan dreamed of setting up his own business with only $820 in his pocket. The future millionaire didn't sit idly by and skillfully used his army experience and connections to make his dream a reality. Just in 3 years, Dan Peña increased his capital to $50 million. And a year later, he doubled his result. The first million was the hardest for me. Then the money just kept falling on my head, says Dan in one of his interviews. After becoming a successful and, more importantly, rich businessman, Peña did not stop there. He decided to share with people his personal experience of creating a $1 million fortune. His main goal was to bring people the idea that making money without too much effort is real. But Dan Peña wanted to do it right, without foolish financial advice and lies. That's how his first book, Your First Million, came out. My wife said to me, "People aren't going to read this. They want to close the book with the firm belief that the money will come to them on its own, and you're making them actually do something." The thought immediately clicked in my head that I wasn't going to sell placebos. Not everyone may want to follow my advice, but those who make the effort should succeed, Peña said in one of the videos on his channel. Dan's first book brought him unprecedented success. His Quantum Leap method is considered among the most effective among entrepreneurs. While those who attend private financial courses by Peña easily earn their first millions of dollars. So, what are the principles that the millionaire adheres to? And most importantly, what is Dan Peña's secret that helps people make millions? You will find out in just a second. Man as a separate corporation. When talking about how to make money, most often people do not value themselves in monetary terms. This is the factor Peña alludes to. You get angry when you are advised to increase your income because you realize that you will have to work more or look for extra income sources. When what you really need to think about is how much you are worth. How much are your skills and your work worth? You should move in that direction. You may find that most athletes or entertainers are millionaires, and that's because they make full use of their skills. If there's something you're good at, chances are you can benefit from it quite a bit. You have to figure out if you could be a leader in a certain area. When you are best at something, you find that opportunities come to you. To become an expert at something, it is important to never stop improving. Successful people invest time, energy, and money in self-development, and it may be the most profitable investment you could ever make. First, figure out what skill you want to develop. Make a list of the top 10 people in the world at it and use that list to determine the criteria and track your progress toward becoming the best. If you are a writer, for example, you might familiarize yourself with the New York Times bestseller list and identify the 10 successful authors you most admire. Learn more about these writers, what they did to succeed, and read some of their works. Put time and energy into perfecting your craft by studying successful past models. Live for now, think about the future. Peña believes there are two extremes: total waste and extreme stinginess. Some do not save money or conversely go into debt to consume more. All rational arguments are of no use to such a person. They will always come up with an excuse in order to continue leading their way of life anyway. Other people in the pursuit of economy do not allow themselves anything, and not only them, but also their relatives suffer from this. The main thing that these people don't understand is that life goes on regardless of the financial situation. When it comes to saving money, each of us finds ourselves on one side or the other. According to Dan, this is because people misunderstand the very essence of saving money. The problem is as old as the world. They tell you to put 10% away and you say, "I have a small paycheck, I can't do it." You know what the catch is? Now, not a single amount of money was named. Because a person doesn't count their money, they don't systematize their capital. Saving should start there, asserts Peña. Dan stresses that you must understand how much money you have today, how much you will be tomorrow, and at the end of the month. The essence of saving, in his opinion, is not to put money aside, but to stick to the numbers that you're getting paid at the beginning of the month. Money doesn't solve problems. Many people think that if they had more money, their financial problems would disappear. But people who don't manage their money well will have financial problems no matter how much or little money they have. Concentrate on managing your finances now, and when they grow, you will feel better. If you don't manage your money well, having more money won't solve your problems, Pena asserts. Everyone has a different path. We are all different. Some of us like to use credit cards to get cash back and rewards. Others manage their money better when they only use cash. Some of us like getting rid of credit quickly with the snowball method. Others like the advantage of the avalanche method. Like most things in life, a lot depends on personal preference and not whether it's right or wrong. There is no one-size-fits-all approach, says Pena. The key is to figure out your strengths and weaknesses, and in the process of life, compensate for your weaknesses year after year by building up a strong advantage. People are the source of money. Startups and small businesses are the best investments according to Dan. He believes they are simple financial ecosystems that are safe to invest in, especially since the amount of such investments will not be exorbitant, but the result can be quite unexpected. Also, Pena stresses that even if it doesn't bring in a huge income, it will clearly be an opportunity to make useful and profitable connections. When you hear the phrase, invest your money, what do you think of? Probably about stocks, shares, portfolios, and so on. But ask yourself, are you an investor or a financier or an economist? I think not. You're just a person who has some extra money and a desire to invest. Don't look at the stock market where big-ass men are playing their behind-the-scenes games. Think about what's around you, says Pena. The frustrating truth. Money is just money. It can come in and out of your life easily. How much? It's only up to you. What's more important is to keep track of time, Dan advises. Money is not the most important thing in life. We all have different priorities. But for many, family, health, friends, and faith come before money. When you spend countless hours making a living, it's easy to get distracted and lose sight of these priorities. Many people think about money almost constantly. It's not a bad idea to look back from time to time and reflect on what really matters in your life. Losing in denial doesn't bring winning. Not many people are willing to fight for their wealth. That's no reason to hit the wall with a clear conviction that achieving more money is an unrealistic goal. It's vital to admit that you're losing for now. Such stress will push you to assess the situation and find further solutions, and as a result, act on the fundamentals. You won't find any other way out. It's a cycle from which you will either come out poor or rich. And that's all for today. This is the main channel on finance. Subscribe and get rich.